anteriormente no Game of Thrones.
Lord Ethan, you're needed in the Great Hall at once. Quickly, on your feet. Lord Whitetail has arrived, unannounced and certainly unexpected.
Lord Ethan, is it? My condolences for your father and brother. My only regret is I wasn't there to drive the dagger into his heart myself.
I may be young, but I'm not so easily fooled. You're trying to rile me, but it won't work.
Young? You are that boy. Too young to know when you're in over your head.
What is it you want, Lord Whitetail?
Your man, the squire. We were minding our own business, keeping the king's peace, as his lordship here said, when your man attacked us for no reason.
No reason? You murdered his family.
Then you admit it was your man who killed my men. And a pig farmer at that. How do you answer for your squire, Lord Ethan? What kind of fucking house is this?
A house of honourable men.
Lady Forrester.
You bellow like a wounded boar, Lord Whitehill. Have you forgotten your manners?
This is not over.
Thank you for coming, Lord Whitetail.
Ethan is Lord of Ironrath now. By rights his word is law here. If that displeases you, then I trust you can find the door.
That lad may be lord of this house. But Lord Bolton will have the final say. I'll send him a raven letting him know a Forrester man killed one of his own. That the new Lord Forrester lied to my face and denied me my justice. Then we'll see whose word is law.
Your sister can help us. Although just a handmaiden,
Agora vamos
she
tirar a
has
mira, né?
Marjorie Tyrell's favour. And Lady Marjorie's betrothal to the king may be enough to keep the Boltons at bay.
Agora vamos tirar a mira.
It's presented to her
A primeira
as it
filha.
should be.
Wonders Made by Man, by Lomas Longstrider. A gift from Roderick. I hope to see them all someday.
Well, that is not gonna happen.
Ethan made this for me.
Nice.
It was very kind of Lady Marjorie to give this to me. It once belonged to Lady Elena. Asher sent me this coin to remember him. What a strange place, Essos. Father, much excitement here in King's Landing for the coming wedding. Lady Marjorie has proven to be quite popular throughout the city. I do wish you and Mother could come. although I know it would be impossible under the circumstances. I miss all of you, and I look forward to the day you can.
Pelo que sei, isto é depois da terceira temporada, acho eu. Foi pelo menos o que eu li no site da Telltale. Posso olhar outra vez para isto? Para que é que eu quero olhar outra vez para isto? Vai fazer exatamente a mesma coisa! Exatamente igual! E posso ir ver outra vez, tipo, what the fuck? Letter from Mother. Vamos ler então.
It troubles me to even ask this of you, but you must appeal to Lady Marjorie to intervene on our behalf. She is our best hope, and can be a powerful ally, especially now when your family so desperately needs her help.
Who's there? Entra aí, chapada. Tem calma.
One moment.
Oh, sorry, milady. I didn't mean to disturb you.
What are you doing?
I can come back later if you'd like.
No, it's fine. Come in.
Este tipo. Ah, vai lavar as cenas.
Begging your pardon, milady, but you alright? If you don't mind my asking, you seem rather upset.
I'm just worried about my family.
Ah, better from home, is it?
It's kind of you to ask.
Of course, milady. You've always been kind to me.
Please hurry if you can. Lady Marjorie will be here any minute.
Of course, milady. You work for Lady Marjorie? I may be wrong, but it seems like you do.
I'm her handmaiden.
That's what I thought. I've seen you with her before. You seem like good friends. I saw Lady Marjorie just this morning, outside the Royal Sept, talking to Queen Cersei.
Essa gaja. When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die.
I couldn't hear much, but it was definitely an argument.
Why are you telling me this?
I heard them arguing about House Forrester and...
House Forrester?
I thought you'd like to know. Forgive me if I was mistaken. I hope you're not in any kind of trouble. Most people don't tend to notice a callboy. Not in King's Landing, with so many lords and ladies about. You see and hear all sorts of things when people don't even know you're there. Good night, milady.
Olha esta gaja da série, né?
Lady Marjorie, you're early.
I was hoping there would be time for us to talk.
Ih, tá feia
There's
aqui.
something we must discuss.
Tão horrorosos aqui.
From the day you arrived in Highgarden, I've thought of you more as a friend than as my handmaiden. A dear friend, in fact.
Thank you, my lady.
And you know how I feel about what's happened to your family. I feel your pain as if it were my own. What you've suffered is beyond imagining. And your poor family as well.
You're very kind, my lady.
Of course, Mira, but you must not despair. We will get through this together. You must understand there are limits to what I can say, especially here in King's Landing, now that I am to be queen. To have a handmaiden from the north whose family fought for Robb Stark. It raises questions at a time I can least afford. Cersei herself cornered me this morning outside the Royal Sept. She mentioned the northern girl in my service, and she painted you a traitor. She was very pleased with herself. Her face was full of mirth as she said it.
What does she intend to do?
She intends to make you miserable, knowing that will make me miserable as well. She demands an audience. She wants an apology of some sort, for what I don't know, but she's waiting for us now, and I promised I would bring you to her. I wouldn't ask this of you if it were not important. I cannot afford any conflict with Cersei with the wedding so near.
What do I say?
Find a way to appease her. Humor her. Tell her what she wants to hear. See if the Queen Regent is ready to receive us. You'll be fine. I know you will. You may feel one thing, but you must say another.
Good luck.
Esta gaja me persegue na série. No jogo. Está ali o anão! Esqueci-me o nome dele. Eu gosto do gajo. É nice. É o único dos Lannisters que não é um otário. Está ali o trono. I love that fucking throne. He's so fucking badass. Então anão!
Ah, Lady Marjorie. Aren't you looking lovely this evening?
É a voz dele!
Lord Tyrion.
É esse Tyrion.
With your permission, allow me to introduce Lady Mira of House Forrester.
I am honored, Your Grace.
Yet not honored enough to kneel, I see.
House Forrester is a northern house loyal to the king.
Are they?
I beg your pardon, Your Grace.
I wasn't talking to you. I want to hear from the girl. Is your family loyal to the king?
Perhaps you should ask the new Lord Forrester.
He's not here, is he? She is. The girl can speak for her house.
Yes, Your Grace. To the one true king.
The one true king. Yet she didn't say which. The girl is clever.
She only meant...
I don't care what she meant. I care what she said. I won't stand for impertinence from a girl of the North.
If you would give her the chance to explain...
Perhaps she can explain why the Forresters have been loyal bannermen to House Stark for centuries. A house of traitors.
They were the Wardens of the North. We all served at the pleasure of the king.
Clever girl.
Perhaps too clever for her own good. And she would have us believe she didn't know which king she served. Is your house willing to swear fealty to your new liege lord, Roose Bolton?
Roose Bolton also served the Starks, Your Grace.
And proved his loyalty to the crown by bringing their house to a swift and sudden end. Old allegiances are not easily abandoned. But now that the war is over, we must look to rebuild and forge new alliances. There are ships and shields to be built, and Joffrey will need a steady supply of ironwood for his armies. I'm told there are others who would happily serve that purpose, but I trust we can rely on House Forrester.
Forrester Ironwood does seem rather unique.
To our mutual benefit, Your Grace.
And at the pleasure of your king. It would be a shame to see it fall into the hands of another house. I imagine you'd do almost anything to prevent that from happening, wouldn't you? Ask any Lannister, and they'd do whatever was necessary to save Casterly Rock. It would be unfortunate to see another house lay claim to what's yours.
Yes, Your Grace. I would do anything.
I see.
What would you have the girl do, Cersei? It's not as if she fought beside the Starks, wielding a battle axe for the Northern Army.
It raises an interesting question, I suppose. Can we truly blame those who end up on the wrong side of the wall? Our dear Marjorie here was betrothed to Renly Baratheon on the false assumption that he would one day rule the Seven Kingdoms. Can we fault her for her mistake? Should she be held accountable?
I won't judge her, Your Grace. I wasn't there. I didn't face her decisions.
Aren't you a delightful girl? If only one could flit through life without ever holding an opinion of their own.
If there's a point to this, I hope you find it quickly.
Loyalty can be such a hard thing to define. This city alone is filled with all sorts of ambitious opportunists looking to reinvent themselves, pretending to be something they're not. Who knows what lurks within their hearts? You are a girl from the north, here in service to Lady Marjorie. One can only assume her interests are yours. Yet loyalty to a king, that must be absolute, beyond question. And if your loyalties were to become conflicted between your king and the very person whom you serve, what would you do then?
I'm sure she
would... Let the girl answer the question. Go on.
My loyalties would never conflict, Your Grace.
That's a coward's answer. I will not have my time wasted by a northern girl who thinks she can play games. Who do you choose?
I must choose Marjorie, Your Grace.
Clearly your handmaiden does not have her priorities straight.
Fuck you!
She is a threat to the crown, isn't she? The most dangerous handmaiden in all of King's Landing.
I'm not quite sure what to make of her. Not surprising, I suppose, for a northern girl, but not very encouraging either. I'd like a word with you, if I may.
Of course, Your Grace.
What a fucking bitch! Sup?
I'll walk you out. This may come as a surprise, but I met your father once, at the tourney at Lannisport. Even then he didn't trust Roose Bolton. We only spoke briefly, but your father struck me as an honorable man. You have my condolences for his loss. These would be trying times for your family, even under the best of circumstances.
These are trying times, my lord. My family fears what might happen now that the Boltons rule the North.
They must still answer to the crown. You shouldn't forget that, nor should they. You were brave to declare your loyalty to Lady Marjorie. No doubt she was pleased, but Cersei, she will not soon forget what you said.
Fuck her!
It was quite the first impression. I, of course, found it all highly entertaining. But it certainly wasn't what Cersei was expecting.
I don't particularly like her.
That was fairly apparent to everyone. My sister and I have our differences. She takes great pleasure in her little charades. I take mine in thwarting them. We must find our amusements where we can. She threatened to give your ironwood to another house. It is the Master of Coin who decides such matters. The crown needs boats. Boats need wood, and I speak for the crown in this regard, not her.
What are you suggesting?
I suppose the crown could be persuaded to secure ironwood from House Forrester. Lady Marjorie might not look favorably on such an alliance, and it would infuriate Cersei. Although what would be amusing for me might prove rather dangerous for you and your house. Are you willing to risk that? It may be far too dangerous. In fact, forget I even suggested such a thing.
I'm sorry, Lord Tyrion, but it's a risk I cannot afford.
I admire your discretion. Now, if you'll excuse me, I promised Sansa I would join her for dinner tonight. 3 beautiful bottles of Dornish wine await my arrival. The mere thought of them makes me thirsty already.
I hope we meet again.
Nothing would make Cersei happier. Until then, be careful. This is not the North. King's Landing can be a nest of vipers to the uninitiated.
Mira, I was worried. How was it? Cersei has a way of looking at you as though you're nothing. It's more than a little intimidating.
It didn't go very well.
I'm sorry. Cersei is known for being rather difficult.
Yep.
But at least it's over now.
She's a bitch.
Lady Marjorie has spent the entire day working on seating arrangements for the wedding. Of course, you and I are seated way at the back, here with the 4th cousins and the 9th-born sons. Ah, Sir Jaime. I wouldn't mind tarnishing that white cloak of his.
Sarah!
What? It's true. And Oberyn Martell, the Red Viper. I'm told he has a paramour, which I doubt is Dornish for wife.
You'll get us in trouble.
We're just having some fun. Perhaps Lady Marjorie could make the right introductions. Who knows? We might meet our future husbands.
Uh-huh.
Although, marrying a king, I can only imagine what that would be like.
Seria a mesma coisa que
Would you
casares com
marry
gajo
Joffrey
normal.
if it meant you'd become queen?
No!
He does have a certain look about him. And he's always treated Lady Marjorie well. Which is more than you can say for his mother.
I'd marry anyone if it helped my family.
Right. Of course. Well, I would marry him. Imagine the power you would have as Queen of the 7 Kingdoms. I might even allow you to be my handmaiden. Let's see, who else should we marry off? Brienne of Tarth and Tyrion Lannister. What a perfect match! Sir Bronn and...
What are you doing?
Pois.
Well? Sarah?
We're sorry, my lady. We were just having fun.
This is not a game. It's a battle plan. Allies and enemies can be made with every move. Yet they say it is men who are powerful. The Queen was rather disappointed by your display, Mira.
Oh well.
I'm just glad it's over.
Ninguém quer saber. Ela que vai espetar espinhos pelo
King's
corredor.
Landing can be exhausting sometimes. There's always someone to please or some perceived slight to smooth over. I fear it will only get worse when I am queen. Once they know your true heart, the lords and ladies will have no choice but to love you. Do you agree?
Once you are queen, the lords and ladies will do their best to please you.
You learn very quickly. Your words to Cersei were brave, but I know you must fear what the Boltons might do to your family. I do appreciate your willingness to appease her, as difficult as it may have been.
Thank you, my lady. There's been something on my mind. Something important. I did have a favor to ask of you in return.
Whatever you wish to say, you can say it in front of Sarah. There are no secrets between us.
It's about my family.
I trust her.
I prefer to speak with you alone.
Mas...
Go on. Ask.
Forgive me, my lady. I wouldn't otherwise ask this of you, but my mother insisted. It's about my family.
Ramsay Snow. What would you have me do?
My mother fears our family will suffer if Ramsay is left to do as he likes. She thought, if a raven could be sent to the Boltons to let them know House Forrester has the protection of the crown. I know it's a lot to ask of you, and I wouldn't otherwise, but she insisted.
That is no small request, especially now.
I know, my lady, and I wouldn't ask this of you otherwise. But my mother has left me no choice. She insisted.
Joffrey knows only too well your family fought for the Starks, and now you would have me ask him to intervene? Is the situation that dire? Joffrey will not look favorably on such a request.
Please, Lady Marjorie, I beg of you. I fear for my family's safety.
I don't know, Mira. If Cersei were to find out...
Don't let the Queen bully you. You have power over him, Lady Marjorie, as no one else does. Not even his mother. Ramsay Snow will arrive at Ironrath within the week. I would never ask this of you if it weren't so urgent.
Very well. I'll make your request, but I cannot promise anything.
Thank you, my lady. I will send a raven to my family at once.
Meu Deus!